I've often heard that when someone dies, they die twice. Once when their physical body gives out, and once when their stories stop being told. So this is my husband Stan's story. My name is Patricia Allen, and I am the wife of Stanley Allen, who passed away in February of 2022 and was an organ donor. Stan was a giver. He had the biggest heart. He cared about people, he cared about children, he cared about anybody that needed help. He was there to help them. After high school and Star Commonwealth, he joined the Navy. After the Navy, he then settled in San Francisco, which is where we met. I went out to San Francisco to work on a bank conversion, and I'd only been at work about an hour that first day when I heard a voice in the cube next to me and thought, ooh, that is an interesting voice. We dated for about 2 years until we got married in June of 2001. Then a couple years later, Wells Fargo said to my husband, we've got a job that we would like for you to do in Des Moines. We've had a great life since moving to Des Moines. Both Stan and I have been registered donors as long as I can remember, but I don't think we ever really thought about what that entailed until February of 2022, when Stan became ill unexpectedly and was rushed to Mercy Hospital in Des Moines. We spent a couple days there with him on an ECMO machine while they tried to determine why his heart had stopped. But after 2 days, they really didn't have a solid answer for it and had to declare him brain dead, as he'd been without oxygen for about 40 minutes. That was when the nurses at Mercy first said to me, is your husband an organ donor? And I said yes, and I had his billfold in my purse and was able to pull it out and, confirm. And he used to joke that he didn't know if he'd have anything left that anybody could use, but whatever he had, somebody else was welcome to it. That was the first time that then an Iowa organ donor social worker came in and talked to me, and she was so patient and so understanding with all of my questions. There seemed like there was an extra level of empathy, an extra level of care and concern that went on during those few days. Once matches were found, there was an honor walk, which I had never heard of, but which touched me to my core and would have touched Stan as well. And we were able to have friends and neighbors and family, as well as hospital staff that came and lined the hallways of Mercy Hospital on February 6th at 7 o'clock at night, and it was a bitter, cold, windy February. And so many people came out and just respectfully watched him be led down the hallway to the operating room. I have met so many people. There are so many stories of how just checking that box, saying yes to donation, has impacted others. I've also talked to folks that have said, well, I don't know this thing going on with me or that thing going on with me. I don't know if I could be a donor. And what I always say is, you don't have to know. You just have to check the box. You don't know how you saying yes is going to impact someone else. Stan donated both of his kidneys, one to a gentleman and one to a lady. So I know for a fact that one of them really loves to read and to garden. I know that one of them was a musician and into playing guitars in bands. So I hope that someday that they reach out. But until then, I know they're gardening and reading and playing music and enjoying life. And that's because of what my husband was able to do for them. Stan has had such an impact on so many people in this life while he was living and walking this earth. It reminds me of one of his favorite sayings, that when you die, on your tombstone, it's going to have the date of your birth and a dash and the date of your death. And it's what you do with that dash in between that really makes a difference. And so through organ donation, it almost makes me feel like his dash has gotten extended a little bit more. On the other side of his death date of 2022, there's still a dash for him because he lives on through 2 other people. And it makes me feel good knowing that those people's dashes or just a little bit longer, they've got a little bit more opportunity to live and love and impact others and to be a giver.